Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Business Plugs Mixer. Hi, my name is Linda Murray Bullitt. They call me the Business Plug, and you guys have no idea. My goal is to get here by 7 o'clock. My goal is to be on air by 7 o'clock, have my guests when I have guests, and be on here timely. That's my goal. But let me tell you about technology and me. What I'm finding is technology and me, we are struggling. We're struggling. Our relationship is becoming a love hate. Like it's becoming where, okay, I used to be that person that people call when they wanted to get their VCRs off 12 o'clock. I was that person. I had the computer skills. I was in technology. I was doing all these things. Okay. I just had a birthday. And so my my birthday was on the 5th, which is what, 10 days ago. 10 days ago, I went to a whole new level. And it has not been the same since. It's not. So I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But thank you for joining me today on the Business Plugs Mixer, because what I thought I was doing was having a guest. And evidently the guest is scheduled for next week. So today you have me. So coming up with, okay, what are we going to talk about? Because I wanted to be relevant, right? So what are we going to talk about? So today I want to talk about annual planning. That's what I talk about. I even every January 1st, I do a meetup, a physical meetup in different places all over the city for those who are goal focused, because I don't do the resolution things. I don't do the resolution things. So I do goal setting. And so not only goal setting, but also helping people to figure out the tactics that go with goals. Because I use SMART goals, right? We know SMART goals: being specific, being measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed, right? The SMART goals. But adding to those things, the tactics to make sure that your SMART goals are actually accomplished. That's the next level. That's the next level. And that's what I teach business owners how to do, to set themselves up with intentionality in order to win in the new year. So this is about, why do you need to have goals? Why do you need to have a plan for the new year? And so you're welcome to come in the comments. Please share this with any of your people who are goal focused or need to be or need to be goal focused. But it's all about moving in intentionality. And so how can we move past from letting life just drag us along, just letting it drag us along, to actually creating a plan so that we're moving with intentionality and we're kind of setting the pace of how things are working out for the entire year. I do this. So I look back, I've done this 9 out of 11 years. I have met up in a physical location and had these meetups 9 out of 11 years. So I don't think that's too bad. Ideally it would be all, every year, but life happens and we're all just doing the best we can, right? And COVID happened. And so, yeah, so so take those years out of there too. So the COVID years, but yeah, but mostly I like meeting up with business owners and those people who are thinking about their progress in the coming year. And let's sit down and talk about, what does that look like? What does that look like? And so I've done some meetups online when I couldn't get out, right? I was having meetups online so that people, my whole audience, like, because it's global, so people even in other places could log on and we could talk about the new year and our goals for that. But this year it's going to be in person again at the Starbucks downtown. That's where it's scheduled. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Today is cold and blustery outside. So who knows? I don't really like to get out in the cold. I really don't. But who knows? It's gonna be at noon. It's gonna be in daylight, and we're gonna meet up and just go through goal setting. So why? So my presentation today is on, why is it important? Why is it important? Like, what's the reason you want to create a plan for your new year, right? Do you even need a plan for your new year? Well, let's think about that. If you set clear goals for yourself, you're setting the expectation for your new year. And so it's going to help you to define what success looks like to you. It gives you an opportunity to not only just think about how you want things to be, but also putting those things in action that you want to see. It kind of becomes a roadmap. And we do no more than three. So in teaching people how to plan and goal set, I do three goals in 90 days increments. So it shouldn't take you all year, right? It shouldn't take you all year to do anything. However, there may be some steps that, let's say, if you want in December to open a business, there may be some steps along the way that you have to get through in order to get to your business at the end of the year. In that case, it does take a year, right? But for most things, it doesn't take an entire year for you to have your goals met. And so we look at that. I love, love, love Stephen Covey's 7 Habits for Highly Effective People, because in that, one of the habits is begin with the end in mind. That's my favorite one. And so I use it often. Begin with the end in mind looks like starting where do you want to be in 90 days, and then working your way back. Well, what do you need to do in order to get the 60-day ready to get you to the 90 days? And then what do you need to do in the next 30 days to get to the 60-day mark that's going to get you to the 90-day mark? And so then what will you need to do this week in order to get you set up for the 30 days that's going to help you get to the 60 days, that's going to help you to get to the 90 days to have the win? It's intentionality. So the first thing is setting clear goals. Be very clear on what you want. What 3 things would you like to have resolved, or 3 things you'd like to have achieved in the first 90 days of 2025? Like, write those down. Those 3 goals that you want, write those down. Like, even if it's a longer list, write the whole list. Write the whole list down, and then grab 3 of them at a time, right? So I'm not saying don't plan, large scale. I'm just saying you want to be achieved, like SMART goals, right? SMART goals is you want them to be achievable. It is not practical to start all 20 goals at one time. So you have to, how do you eat an elephant? Small chunks. You have to get it down to snackable sizes so that you can work it, so you can actually see the results. Also, having a plan will help you stay organized. So in your plan, so write all the goals, all the things you want to happen in 2025. And then think about prioritizing those things. What needs to happen first? And put them in order. And this minimizes your distractions and will help you to manage your time effectively. That's what you want. You want to be able to have an effective plan, because you don't want to be spending. You can spend without a plan. You don't need a plan to spend if you just want to spend in place and get nothing done. But if you want to actually have traction in the new year, then you want to make sure that you're prioritizing everything that you need to do. And that includes the big goals, right? Prioritize which one of them needs to go first, which 3 needs to go first. And then in those 3, break them down. What task do you need to go through in order to move those 3 to the front of the line, right? And also, number 3 is track your progress and measure your success. Like, we're so busy doing, because I'm a doer. And so getting busy doing, we forget to go back and measure our progress. And then the time comes when we're like, oh, we've been busy doing things, but we haven't measured. What does week 1 look like? What is the goal for week 1? What is the goal for week 1? And here's the thing. Here's what I love about being alive at this time. You can actually go in ChatGPT or an AI, whatever you use, Claude or whatever you use. You can go in and say, these are my goals. Give me step by step, week by week actions, tasks in order to support me achieving these 3 goals in 90 days. What? That means you'll have weekly goals. That means you'll know whether you're on track or not. You get to mark those off. And if you're like me, I'm a marker. I'm a checklist person. I am. And so I'll mark that off. So you get to actually go and track your progress. And that way you can actually see your success as you're moving through it, right? Also, you need to think about the challenges. Like, you're preparing. Looking ahead means you're looking to see, okay, what obstacles or strategies do I need to develop in order to be successful? And in those obstacles, you need to create mitigation plans, right? How do I mitigate the impact? If I know this is going to happen, if I know certain things are going to happen in the new year, how can I mitigate their impact on me and my business, or me and my family, or me and my career, or me and whatever I'm doing? How can, if I'm looking ahead, I'm looking at what's going to touch me. January 1st will kick off a lot of new laws in a lot of different places. Have you looked to see how those laws will impact you locally, at the state level and at the federal level? It pays to be aware of what's happening in our judicial, in our system, right, in our government system, so that we can see how it's going to impact us. A lot of people were telling me, say, well, yeah, there's a hold on spending. When I was talking to one of my sisters, one of my peers, and she was saying, yeah, the state of Washington has put a hold on new contracts. Uh-oh, wait a minute. If you were looking for contracts in 2025, then that would impact you, right? So knowing things like that beforehand will help you to say, okay, so I need to wait until they're ready to start new contracts again before I start submitting bids or looking for bids. So in the interim, what do I need to do if that was my sole resource? Thinking about what's happening in front of you is going to help you to be a better player in your business, in your life. Like, you won't stress, you'll create a plan B. So if plan A was to get government contracts in January and they've put a hold on them, okay, what do I need to do now? I need to create a plan B. And what does that look like? Do I go to more corporations? Do I start putting fillers out, getting my network, helping people, asking people, okay, do you know anyone who's doing contracts now? Like, do I need to get foreign agent registers in other states? Like, you come up with a plan. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm doing. Preparing for any challenges. And then number 5 is increase your motivation and your accountability. So having a clear plan is going to help you to stay inspired, and it's going to help you to stay committed, especially if you share it with people who understand what your plan is. If you have accountability partners, like I have an AP in Seattle, and so shout out to her because she's always doing her thing. But I have people who hold me accountable. And so when you're doing this planning, do it with a friend. Like, don't do it in a silo by yourself. Do it with a friend. And then that way you can meet your goals, they can meet their goals, and then the two of you can celebrate, right? Or the group of you can celebrate. That's what I'm doing on January the 1st. I am creating a circle of people who are interested in setting goals and doing things a different way in the new year. And if you're interested, reach out to me. Let's talk about what you're doing in 2025 and how I can support you. And maybe you can support me too. We can do it, can be a shared, a win-win for both sides, right? So, any case, my name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug, and I'm coming on today to talk about what does your plan look like for 2025. If you're at the end of this, go back and listen to the beginning of it. I'm trying to explain to you why it's very important for you to have a plan going into this new year and how to implement that plan. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. I'll see you next Sunday when I actually will have a guest. I actually will have a guest next Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m. here on the Business Plugs Mixer. Have a great week, everyone. Bye bye.